This is 5 on your side at 10. Focused on you.
If you've been outside lately, you've noticed we're cooling down a bit. A cold front has moved in and it's here to stay through the weekend. Thank you for joining us at 10. I'm Brent Solomon in for Ann Allred. We had some rain earlier, but we won't have to worry about that tonight. Let's go ahead and check in with meteorologist Jim Castillo now with these colder temperatures.
Yeah, hi, Brent. So the temperature right now is about 61. Not too bad, but considering that high was 71, and we're really starting to see each and every hour that temperature drop. So the wind is up also. It's going to stay up all weekend. There's the low right west of Chicago that's causing some rain still there. And then the front does drape down into our eastern counties. So we still have a few showers well to the east of the metro from Salem, Illinois to Mount Vernon. And then a few more even around Perry County, Missouri, just now exiting. So yes, that rain is over, but that wind stays up. 24-mile-per-hour gust right now in St. Louis, sustained at about 14. And some of the gusts tomorrow as high as 30 miles an hour. And that 61 right now, that's going to be the high for the day. As we get into Saturday, even colder than that, or cooler as we get into Sunday, and a lot of clouds around. So we'll talk about that weekend forecast, any rain chances, all that coming up in just a bit. All
right, stay close, Jim. Remember, you can get your Weather First forecast on your phone anytime. Text the word weather to 314-425-5355. Tonight, thousands of people living in northern Gaza are leaving after an evacuation order from Israel. Israel is ramping up its attack against Hamas in Gaza following a deadly attack from the Palestinian militant group last weekend. So far, more than 1,000 Israelis and people in Gaza have died. And this week, we've learned dozens of Americans are dead. Israel says it will continue attacking Gaza until Hamas lets go of hostages. Tonight, President Biden said the U.S. is doing what it can to find Americans who are still missing.
They're going through agony not knowing what the status of their sons, daughters, husbands, wives, children are. You know, it's gut-wrenching. I assured them my personal commitment to do everything possible to return every missing American to their families. Can't lose sight of the fact that the overwhelming majority of Palestinians had nothing to do with Hamas. They're suffering as a result as well.
Tonight, we're hearing from a Palestinian American family in our area with loved ones living in war-torn Gaza. Robert Townsend spoke with them just a few hours ago about their concerns.
It's been a week since the deadly Israeli-Hamas conflict erupted, and Hazelwood restaurant owner Wissam Hamad can't stop thinking about his family.
I'm definitely worried about them all the time.
His wife, Sama, and their 4 kids live in Jerusalem. That's about a 2-hour drive from Gaza.
They're kind of all right. They're not in the middle of the happen, but it's bad. It's bad everywhere. It's hard to explain, honestly.
For the past 10 years, Hamad has run the Kozlik Mediterranean cuisine in North St. Louis County. His family has never been to his restaurant, nor to America. On Saturday, Hamad had hoped to fly home to be with his loved ones. But now as the war intensifies and tens of thousands of Gazans flee their homes,
I'm really afraid to go like everybody else. But I really, at the same time, want to be with my family, with my kids.
Seeing what is occurring, not just in the Gaza Strip, but also within the occupied West Bank, has been heart-wrenching.
Hamad's niece, Naveen Ayesh, was born in St. Louis and raised in Palestine. Naveen is the government relations coordinator for the Missouri chapter of American Muslims for Palestine. She, too, has many concerns and fears when she watches the horrific images of lives lost, lives forever changed due to the ongoing war.
I have spent my entire 20s in our state legislature trying to educate our elected officials and just the general public, honestly, overall, about what has been happening with our families, with our friends right now. They are not alone. We want them to know they are not alone.
Now, on Sunday, members of American Muslims for Palestine and other organizations will share more of their concerns about the war during an afternoon news conference.
Robert Townsend reporting tonight. For a link to our stories on the Israel-Hamas war, text the word Israel to 314-425-5355. 5355. Tonight, new charges against a man accused of assaulting young boys in the St. Louis neighborhood. Court documents just released today show Haji Gul Osmani is indicted for allegedly abusing a third boy. He's accused of assaulting a child in the St. Louis Hills neighborhood back in July as well and trying to target another. Police believe there could be more victims. Anyone with info should call authorities. The St. Louis Board of Aldermen extending its survey for feedback about Rams settlement money. Board members made that decision after getting feedback during the first public committee meeting. They tell our I-Team they want input from you about what to do with the $280 million that the city has received after a lawsuit against the Rams in 2016. A new deadline is set for next Friday. You can find the link to that survey at ksdk.com. Now to a developing story out of the Dominican Republic. Armed robbers broke into the St. Louis Cardinals baseball complex early this morning. A police spokesperson says the suspects bound and gagged a security guard, then used a guard's shoelaces to tie him up. The robbers stole money, cell phones, jewelry, and baseball equipment. Authorities are still searching for those robbers. The St. Louis Board of Aldermen advanced two bills aimed at regulating short-term rentals. Some leaders blame short-term rentals for violence and large crowds. The bills would cap how many rentals a person can own and set a 2-day minimum stay. They would also limit the number of cars associated with a property and require the owner to file for a permit with a public hearing over the issue. The proposals still have to pass another vote from the Board of Aldermen. Then they would go to the mayor. Well, there's a new nominee to become the next House Speaker. Today, House Republicans cast a second secret ballot nominating Jim Jordan. That's after Steve Scalise dropped his bid, saying he didn't have enough overall support to win the race. The House now has to cast a floor vote, and there's no word on when that will happen. The United Auto Workers Union says workers are now prepared to walk out at any day or any time. This weekend marks 1 month since workers began striking against General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis. That includes workers at the GM plant in Wentzville. They're asking for more pay, shorter work weeks, and traditional pensions. Earlier this week, the union made a surprise decision to expand its strike at a Ford plant in Kentucky. And today, Ford announced more layoffs at a plant in Ohio because of the ongoing strikes.